Alright guys, so I'm in a really crowded lobby with a whole bunch of other coaches around here. See if I can get this video without getting photobombed again. So in some of my other videos, man, you've heard me talk about that everything, at a certain level, everything can be related back to Beachbody. All these different things that happen in your life can be related back to Beachbody. And one of my favorite analogies about Beachbody is there's a national park in Utah. It's called Zion, and we love Utah in general. And we went to this park a few years ago now, and the first time we went there, we paid our entry fee, and it was really easy to get in. It's like 25 bucks for a carload. We got in no problem, and inside was beautiful. It was nice. We got to hang out with cool people, and we decided we want to do a little bit more. And so we went on some of the hikes and stuff like that, but there was one hike in particular called Angel's Landing that we didn't get to go on because we had our kids with us, and we needed somebody to watch the kids because it was a long hike, and you needed to do it early in the morning so that the sun and the wind and all the elements didn't bother you. So we didn't get to go because we weren't adequately prepared, right? And so the next year we planned better, and I brought my dad so he could watch the kids. And so let me tell you how Angel's Landing and Zion National Park equate to coaching. So getting into Zion National Park is simple, right? I mean, anybody can do it. 25 bucks gets you in. Becoming a coach is simple, and there's perks to both of those. You get into Zion National Park and you look around, and it's a beautiful place. You're surrounded with by pretty cool people because it's my kind of crowd, if I'm being honest, that wants to go to a national park for vacation, right? And so the scenery is amazing, the people are great, and it's like Beachbody, right? I mean, I'd be lying if I tell you the scenery at these events isn't pretty amazing too, and the people are great, and that's just, and you get some great discounts, and you might even make a little bit of money and get in better shape just because you're a coach, right? That's simple. So getting into Zion is easy, and then becoming a coach is easy also. But there's people who do a little bit more, and we did a little bit more. We made these we made some of these other hikes, and so that's the people that they make a little bit more money, right? They put a little bit more effort into it, and so that's those are the people that for Zion, they wander off of the paths, and they do a little bit of exploring, and they do a little bit of sightseeing, and they see stuff that like 80% of the other people they're not going to see because they're all hanging out at the lodge, and they're sitting under the shade tree, and they're just looking up at the mountains, looking at the other people who are doing the hiking. But then, so there's this next step, right? Those are the coaches that do some decent work. And so then, let's get to Angel's Landing, right? So Angel's Landing, somebody Google this stuff and throw some pictures in the comments so people can see what we're talking about. So the first part of Angel's Landing is called Walter's Wiggles, right? And Walter's Wiggles is the daily activities, guys. Walter's Wiggles is nothing but basically a zigzag back and forth up the side of a mountain. It's the same thing over and over again. You walk uphill 12 steps, you turn around and you walk uphill 12 steps. You turn around and you walk uphill 12 steps. And that's the daily behaviors. You get bored of always find, share, and invite. Find, share, and invite. And personal development. And be proof that products work. And there's days where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. But that's what you have to do to get to the top, right? Walter's Wiggles, there's not an elevator, there's no other way to get to the top other than those same redundant behaviors that you have to do over and over again. There's no other way. So that's what you have to do. So when you get to the top of Walter's Wiggles, after all of this redundant activity, then you're at Scouts Lookout. And Scouts Lookout's pretty amazing. This is a place where like a super small minority of the people go to see this, right? And so you're looking around and you're in pretty exclusive company already because most of the people aren't willing to do the redundant daily activities to get to Scouts Lookout to see things that so many other people won't see. And that's a pretty amazing place, and it's a pretty amazing view, and the people around you are pretty cool. But you know what? There's another step. And that other step is called Angel's Landing. And the reason they called it that is because when the pioneers came into town and they saw this place, they were like, holy cow, nobody would be able to get there except for an angel. And so that's what it was called, Angel's Landing. And at the bottom of the sign, it's like, warning, 9 people have died since 2006 or some sort of nonsense like that. But there's this few elite number of people that they want to do more. They're sitting here at Angels Lookout and or at Scouts Lookout, and they want more than that. And so they take that extra planning and they take those steps and they step outside of their comfort zone, because it's 1,000 feet down on either side. And sometimes it's like a 16 feet across, 1,000 feet down on either side. But you get up there and you get to the top, and you know what? It's not crowded at the top. There's not hardly anybody up at the top. But that's where the people who want to do more, who want to earn, who want to see things and experience things that other people aren't willing to put the effort into to see and experience, right? Because those people down there at Scouts Lookout, that's kind of like a Success Club trip for me. Those are the people that, they make Success Club every month, but they're still just don't have that level of oomph into their business where they reach that next level. And Angel's Landing is that next level. And at Angel's Landing, you know who I see there? I see 6-figure Beachbody coaches. I see $1 million Beachbody coaches. That's in my mind. That's who I'm surrounded with when I'm at Angel's Landing. I'm up there and it's super quiet and it's not crowded at all. There's only a few people there because only a few people were willing to show up, sign up, put the effort in, put it in consistently over and over again until they finally got where they wanted to be. There's no shortcut, but man, if you do the things that other people aren't willing to do, you get to do and see the things that other people can't see.